I'm going to be ranking the best point guards in NBA 2K23. My team, we have a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have about 25 to 30 of the best point guards in the game. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below which point guards are you guys running on your team right now, and let me know what you guys would change about my list. But looking at the first point guard here is going to be Pink Diamond Cade. I would say Cade's probably going to be in my B tier category. Obviously, still going to be a very elite point guard, shooting guard, 6'6" with a 7'1" wingspan, and that's going to be why the card is so elite, because he's 6'6" with a pretty good wingspan. Stats wise, not going to be anything too crazy. He does have a 91 3 ball and a pretty decent release. He's also got the MJ dribble style, but the rest of his sigs really aren't going to be the best. So I'd say Cade for me is going to be in that B tier category. Honestly, a pretty underrated point guard is going to be this Opal Gilbert Arenas. I think he's actually a better point guard than Cade, which when this card first came out, I definitely wouldn't have thought that. But after using this card a little bit more, and after seeing some gameplays and just seeing more footage of this card and just playing against him more often, I do think this Gilbert card is actually very, very elite at the point guard spot. He's 6'3" with a 6'9" wingspan. I mean, stats wise, he's going to be super well rounded, especially on the offensive end. He's got a 94 3 ball, 94 mid range. I mean, just take a look at these Hall of Fame shooting badges. We got Agent 3, Amped, Comeback Kid, Green Machine, Guard Up, Limitless Range on Hall of Fame. Like, so many good Hoff shooting badges. He's also got 93 speed, 93 acceleration. He's got a great ball handle, 95 ball handle, 93 speed with ball. I mean, this card offensively is going to be an absolute bucket, and he actually does have a pretty good jump shot and the normal leaner as well. So for me, I do think Gilbert Arenas is actually a better point guard than Cade and going to be in the A tier category. Now, talking about our first S tier point guard is going to be Pink Diamond Lonzo Ball. If you guys don't know, S tier is going to be my top 5 point guards in the game, and I think Lonzo is definitely going to be somewhere in the top 5. I mean, he's a really good defender. That's obviously why you want him, why you want Lonzo on your court, to be a really good defensive card, and he's going to be very good at going to the rim with also being 6'6". Looking at the next point guard here, I think Diamond Caruso is probably going to be in that C tier category. I think he's still very, very elite at the point guard spot, really good defensively, but he does lack a little bit on the offensive end, and we'll talk about some better Diamond alternatives at the point guard position. So for me, I think Caruso going to be in that C tier category. Opal Chris Paul, honestly guys, I think is going to be in C tier. I mean, stats wise, this card doesn't look to be that bad. Like, stats and badges wise, this card's actually probably pretty elite, but you got to take into the fact that he's 6 foot with only a 6'4" wingspan. He's got a terrible player model. So yes, his defensive stats might be really good, but he's going to play little to no defense because of that height. He's just going to get bullied in the paint and literally play 0 defense. And offensively, he can't dunk the ball. So if you can't dunk the ball this year and you're going to be 6 foot or under and can't play that good of defense, you just really can't be that elite of a point guard, in my opinion, because those are the main 2 things you want to have in your point guard, is defense and being able to dunk the ball and run to the basket. So for me, I think Chris Paul going to be in the C tier category. Another C tier point guard I think is going to be Pink Diamond Curry. I still think if you know how to use this card, you can still have, some good success with this card. Maybe he goes down to D tier, but I mean, he's still Steph Curry, not Seth. He's still Steph Curry, 6'3", wingspan. I mean, offensively, gonna be able to shoot threes, 97 3 ball, 92 mid range. He has that Hall of Fame limitless range badge. He has Deadeye, Catch and Shoot, Amped, Agent 3, all on Hall of Fame. But this year, guys, I mean, the meta of the game is going to the basket. It's not shooting threes. It's really hard to 3-hunt in my team right now because we don't have the good dribble sigs, and it's just really hard to get threes off because we don't have fast jump shots. And like I said, we don't have these crazy dribble sigs. So I think for me, Curry probably going to be in that C tier category, maybe could even argue D tier. Talking about Diamond DeJounte Murray, I think he's going to be on the same level as a guy like Caruso, both very, very similar at the point guard spot, both going to be very, very elite. I'm just not exactly sure if they're on the same level as a guy like Cade. Talking about Amethyst Dennis Smith Jr., I think he's going to be in D tier. Actually a pretty solid budget option though. I will say I did want to include, some more budget point guards on the list, just so we have a little bit more range. It's not all of the top tier cards. Like, obviously I got like 99% of the top tier point guards. I just want to have some budget options as well. He's 6'2" with a 6'3" wingspan. He's going to fit the meta of the game this year, right? Being a really good rim runner, 95 driving dunk, 94 vertical. He's also super fast, 92 speed, 92 acceleration. So, I mean, is it crazy to say with how the game is played this year that Dennis Smith Jr. is a better point guard than Curry? Is that crazy to say? Because, I mean, how the game is played this year, Dennis Smith does the job better than a guy like Curry. So I'm going to keep both of them in probably D tier. I think Curry's still very, very elite. I just think he's not really going to fit the meta of the game this year. But I think I'm also going to keep Dennis Smith Jr. in that D tier category. Talking about Diamond Donovan Mitchell, I would say he's going to be in B tier. Still one of my favorite point guards used in the game. Surprisingly enough, he's still actually my backup point guard. I do need to upgrade him, but he's still a really good option. Still going to be a B tier level point guard, which are really, really elite. I mean, guys like Cade and Donovan Mitchell, both going to be very elite at the point guard spot. Talking about Diamond De'Aaron Fox, I would say he's probably also going to be in that B tier category. I think you could maybe argue him in A tier, but I think him and Cade, him and Donovan Mitchell, going to be very similar. I mean, Fox is super, super fast. That's obviously the best thing about this card. He's got, what, 97 speed, 97 acceleration. He's got, you know, good defense all around, 92 perimeter defense, 94 lateral quickness, 88 steal. Yes, 34 interior defense is definitely going to be a liability and definitely a flaw about the card. But other than that, I mean, the card's super fast. He's great with the ball in his hands, 97 speed with ball, 89 ball handle. He's got Hall of Fame clamp breaker, quick first step, two of the best playmaking badges, if not the two best playmaking badges in the game, and some of the best badges in the game in general. And he's also got his jump shot on quick timing, so it's going to be a super fast jump shot, and it's going to be pretty easy to green as well. So I'd say De'Aaron Fox for me going to be in that B tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Steve Francis, I mean, he's a really good rim runner, so he does fit the meta in that sense, but his jump shot is super, super weird, and he's not going to be that good at the defensive end. But I still think just because of his rim running ability, he's going to be in C tier. Now, talking about the Diamond Darius Garland, I do think he's probably going to be low C tier, maybe even in that D tier category. He does have a really quick jump shot, so he is going to be able to shoot some threes pretty consistently and get some, and being able to create some space and get some shots wide open. So I'd say for those reasons, he's probably going to be in that C tier category. Talking about another, I think very close to being a top 5 point guard. I'm not exactly sure on my top 5, so I'm going to keep Gary Payton in this A tier category for now, but we all know we can do on the court. He's going to be an amazing defender, probably one of the best point guard defenders in the game, and he's going to be very elite on the offensive end as well. So for me, Gary Payton going to be in the A tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Ja Morant, I think this is kind of an interesting one because this card plays little to no defense, but offensively he's still going to be absolutely amazing. He's got his jump shot on quick, and he's going to be a really good rim runner. He's 6'3" with a 6'7" wingspan. I think you could honestly argue this card in B tier because he is really good at going to the rim. 95 driving dunk, 98 vertical, super fast, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, also having a 95 ball handle, 94 speed with ball. But this card plays little to no defense. I think he's going to be very similar to a guy like Ja Morant is going to be very similar to a guy like Derrick Rose, except the fact that Ja Morant does have a better jump shot, and it's going to be on quick timing as well, and he's got the normal leaner. So I think Ja Morant actually going to be moved up to the B tier category. I do like him more. I do like him more than guys like Caruso and DeJounte Murray. Talking about Diamond Kyle Lowry, as much as I'm a Raptors fan, and I do think he's actually a pretty underrated card, I think he's going to be in my D tier spot. Now, it's not saying any of these cards in D tier are bad. I still think Dennis Smith, Curry, and Lowry are good point guards, but definitely not going to be, you know, higher than D tier. Talking about Pink Diamond LaMelo Ball, 1000% going to be in my S tier category. Yes, I don't think LaMelo is as crazy good as we thought it would be. Like, I do think this card's a little bit underwhelming for the fact that we thought he was going to be easily the best point guard in the game. I'm not exactly sure if he's the best. I'd probably have a number 2 or number 3, or maybe even number 4 as well. He's a 6'7" point guard though, 6'10" wingspan. I mean, he's going to be great offensively, and that's just due to the fact that he has one of the best releases in the game on quick timing as well. And he's also got the MJ dribble style and the normal leaner. So I mean, for me, I think LaMelo Ball definitely going to be in that top 5 category, but I'm not exactly sure if he's the best point guard. Talking about Pink Diamond Jeremy Lin, I think he's going to be in the same tier as guys like Caruso, DeJounte Murray, going to be very similar, good on the defensive end, he does lack a little bit on the offensive end, but I'd say overall definitely a decent point guard, going to be in that C tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Magic, now I'm not really the biggest fan of this card. I don't think he's going to be in my top 5 category, so I don't think he's going to be an S tier. I would say he's going to be very, very close, probably number 6 or number 7. I know some people have him as the best point guard, or probably top 3, and some people have him even in the top 5, but for me, I'm just really not the biggest fan of the card. I think it really comes down to preference and how you use the card in playstyle. And for my playstyle, I'm just really not good with this Magic card. I understand he's 6'9" and provides so much, you know, height and mismatches at the point guard spot. Just for me though, and don't like his jump shot and think his dribble stakes are pretty bad. So for me, I'm going to go Magic in A tier. Obviously still going to be one of the best point guards in the game. And then guys, talking about Galaxy Opal Trae Young. Now, this is honestly, I'm not even making a joke. He might be the worst point guard on this list, and I'm not even kidding. Maybe he's not the worst, but he is really bad, man. This Trae Young card honestly is an F tier, man. Like, we need an F tier. We need a tier just called Trae Young, because this is an absolute garbage, man. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm sure there's already some people down below, you know, kind of defending Trae Young and saying he's better than D tier or F tier. But for me, I hate this card. Don't think he's very good at all. He's 6 foot, can't play defense, and can't dunk the ball. So for the meta of the game this year, kind of similar to a guy like Curry, going to be in that D tier category. Looking at Diamond Marbury, I would say Diamond Marbury, surprisingly enough, for me at least, is going to be in the A tier category. I think he's basically just a budget Gary Payton. They're both going to be super elite on the defensive end. Yes, they're not the greatest offensive cards, but defensively and the meta of the game this year, they're going to be super elite on that side of the ball. So I think Marbury, surprisingly enough, is going to be in the A tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Penny Hardaway, 1000% going to be an S tier. I think right now he is probably my best point guard. I think you could argue guys like LaMelo, Lonzo, but for me, Penny Hardaway going to be the best point guard. Looking at Pink Diamond Pete Maravich, this card is god awful. He's probably one of the worst point guards in the game, even for being a Pink Diamond. He was pretty hyped up. I had some, you know, high expectations for this card, but he's 6'5", 6'8" wingspan. But take a look at this driving dunk, 50 driving dunk. He's got 38 interior defense, 78 steal, 58 block. So he's not a good defender. He can barely dunk the ball, and his jump shot isn't even that crazy good. He doesn't have good dribble sig. So honestly, guys, Pete Maravich going to be in my D tier category. Talking about Pink Diamond Derrick Rose, I would say he's going to be in C tier. I think he's actually pretty good. He's still a very good rim runner, but I don't think he's on the same level as guys like John Morant. And the next point guard we're going to talk about, who is going to be the Pink Diamond Russell Westbrook. I think he's going to be one of my last guys in the S tier category. I do like Penny Hardaway, LaMelo, and Lonzo over a guy like Russ, but I like Russ more than Magic, more than Gilbert, and more than Gary Payton as well, because Russ is a super good rim runner. Definitely, in my opinion, from my experience, the best rim runner in the game. Super elite going to the basket, gets every single and one dunk. He dunks the ball like crazy, makes every layup, every contested layup. So for me, Russell Westbrook going to be in that S tier category. Talking about Amethyst, Anthony Simons, just like a guy like Dennis Smith Jr., I think they're going to be very solid budget options, but comparing them to the best point guards in the game, I don't think I can throw them much higher than D tier. Talking about Diamond, Terry Rozier, I know he's an Evo, and I know he does get a little bit better. I need to check out this card one more time, but his Amethyst wasn't really crazy good. Does he get that much of an Evo? He gets +3 speed, +4 3 ball. He gets some defensive attributes. He does get +10 driving dunk, which is really nice. I just think defensively, only being 6'1", he does have a 6'8" wingspan. You know what? I'm gonna throw him in C tier. I'm going to throw him in C tier. I think because he gets that +10 driving dunk, he now has a 95. I'm going to go C tier for Terry Rozier. Actually looks to be a pretty solid point guard. Pink Diamond D-Wade, I think, is going to be in that B tier category. Very similar to a guy like Cade. They both got good defensive stats, and they're both going to be very good defenders, but jump shot wise is terrible for Dwayne Wade. Honestly, one of the worst point guard releases in the game. So in my opinion, I think he's going to be in that B tier category. And then John Wall for now is going to be in A tier. And guys, we have to move one card up from A tier into the S tier category. So let me know down below in the comment section, out of Gary Payton, Stephon Marbury, Magic, Gilbert, and John Wall, who would you guys move up into the S tier category? And for me, might be a little bit surprising, but it's going to be Gary Payton. I value defense a lot this year. I think having a guy like Gary Payton is just going to be super nice on the defensive end. And I think I also might move a guy like Cade up into A tier, and then maybe to try to balance it out a little bit, go with a guy like Caruso and maybe DeJounte Murray in B tier, just to have a little bit more balance of a tier list, because I do think Caruso and DeJounte were the best cards in C tier, and I think Cade was the best point guard in B tier. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my point guard tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.